We got Valid joining me here for Sports and Hip Hop with DJ Mad Max tonight, live 365 iHeartRadio. You already know what it is, man. Peach Brandy available on all platforms right now. He's back on the show here tonight. Valid is always valid, and he's here. Welcome back, man. How's everything
Yeah,
going?
what up, though, man? Max, thank you for having me again. I appreciate it. It was about over a year ago, just over a year ago, me and Stretch were on your show. So thank you so much. It's been good, man. I'm crazy busy. As you can see, I did not plan on doing this interview in the car, bro. But I'm ripping and running around because the album just dropped, because the release party is this Saturday. I just left DJ Heads. That's where I'm driving from, just going over our set for Saturday night. And it's crazy right now, my guy. It's crazy. So that's what it is. It's mad busy.
I think that when we did the interview, wasn't that at DJ Head's place the last time with you and Stretch
Yeah,
Money?
it was funny too because when we did the interview with Stretch, I remember that was the night me and him, along with DJ Head, basically like constructed and put together our stage set for the release party. And that's exactly what me and DJ Head just did for this project, for this release party. So kind of a coincidence. Next for every project, anytime I gotta go to DJ Heads to put together the release party set, I'm gonna reach out to you.
So, how are you feeling about the new release with Peach Brandy? Because I remember you did album a while ago with Plum Brandy, and we know about the Serbian drink and everything. How does this connect to Plum Brandy?
Well, although plum brandy is the most typical popular brandy, or as we call it, rakia, that they drink in Eastern Europe and Serbia and whatnot, um, they also make it out of other fruits. So they can make it out of pear, they can make it out of apricot. Some people make it out of peaches. And peach brandy, actually, in Serbia and Eastern Europe, is not a household thing. Like they make it, and there's a couple companies out there that make it, but most people, when they make homemade brandy in Eastern Europe, typically they're making either, I'm sorry, no, they're making either plum, apricot, pear, apple. Peach is not one of the most popular ones, but it just has such a sweet ring to it, peach brandy. And the way you would say it's a cuss word, I can cuss on here,
Yeah,
right,
you
Max?
can. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, um, the way you would say pussy in Eastern Europe is the word peachka. So for short, they say peach. You get what I'm saying? So in English, when I say peach brandy, it has a little bit of a different connotation to it. So even though people do drink peach brandy out there, brandy made out of peaches, it's not everywhere, but it does exist. So it still counts. And I always thought that I could keep doing volumes of this concept. And each time I do a different volume, it could be a different flavor. It could be a different fruit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What's the next
That's what it
fruit
is,
that's
bro.
on your mind?
If I revisit this concept, if I relink with all my producers in the Balkan region and flip those samples again, because that's what makes the series. You know, Plum Brandy was producers from that region of the world, and we're flipping music that came out of that region of the world on both Plum Brandy and the new Peach Brandy. So all the samples you hear are from music that was made in that region of the world. And if I were to do it again, probably the next one would be green, and it would be a cool green vinyl, and it would be pear brandy. That's probably how I would roll with it, because the plum brandy was plum vinyl, peach brandy is peach colored vinyl, and so if I ever revisit this again, I think a dope green vinyl would be fresh as hell.
I agree. I like One of a Kind. That was my favorite record off of the album.
Man, thank you. That's produced by the homies in Montenegro, Nowhere to Run, and vibing with DJ Mono, or DJ Mono for short. And the homie DJ Rokam in Serbia did the cuts on there. And it was super cool, man. He's a big hip hop head. He's a big Detroit hip hop head. So he was excited to do the cuts on the project, and he purposely sampled like Fat Cat, Elzai, on the cuts at the end. And I'm trying to think if I'm leaving anybody out, but it was dope because I've worked with Fat Cat and Elzai. Those are the homies, and I got a lot of love for him. So it was dope that he did that. I didn't tell him to do that. He just did that on his own. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. Never Question. That was another one that really stood out to me. I always like when a hip hop artist gets on there with a female vocalist. I always appreciate that.
Yeah, man. And Nisha Nashay, man. Nisha Nashay is one of the illest, dopest artists out the city to me, you know, and this is our second time working together. And Nisha Nashay that shit, you know, for those that don't know, she was on Rock Nation for a hot minute. She toured with Big Sean. She got a super dope joint that she did with E40, Sada Baby. A lot of the bigger like names out of Detroit, a lot of them got a hook or a chorus or a feature from Nisha Nashay. That's my homegirl, and she definitely did it right for this project. So go check out Never the Question, Ballad and Nisha Nashay.
You also linked up with Stretch Money on the project too. You're always like that's your
Yeah,
guy.
that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of become like we joke around. We say we're the red and meth of Detroit. Like, you know, we're two solo artists, but damn near, not always, but damn near when we're working on like a solo project, it's almost like, oh, you know, this would be the perfect one to put Stretch on, or vice versa. So, yeah, that's what it is. Bill and Isaiah, baby.
Yeah, I heard that you're going to Croatia with DJ Head. That's big.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, August 16th, I believe, Friday, August 16th, there's a hip hop festival in Croatia, right on the sea. And it's called Preach the Reach, which basically means preach the word. And yeah, me and DJ Head were headlining night one. Night two is headlined by Arrested Development. And that's what it is, bro. And it's gonna be fucking dope. Tickets are on sale. So we're excited that this is my first show outside of North America. I've rocked in many different states in America. I've rocked in Canada, quite a few different spots in Canada. And it's dope now to have to jump over the ocean to rock a show. I'm very excited for that.
Congrats on that. That's a big achievement to go outside of the States, even just outside Detroit. When we look at everything that you've done and just your base outside of Detroit, what would you say your second home is?
Um, you know, I think about that, and as far as like America is concerned, I think the city that I am most attached to, at least to their hip hop community and whatnot, is probably Chicago.
Mm.
Because me and the homie Slot A, we did a project called the Alley Oop EP, which had my joint What Up Though with Fat Cat on it and whatnot. And just becoming so cool and so tight with Slot A, um, that you know, that brought me like it almost turned me into a what's the word I'm looking for here? Like an honorable mention. I'm not a part of the Chicago hip hop community, but I've definitely been adopted and embraced by the likes of Fillmore Green, Rashid Hadi, Neek, and a lot of these dope Chicago artists. The homie Rowe, and I've gotten a lot of spins in Chicago because that project that I did with Slide A, we kind of made it a point to be like, yo, this is a Detroit and a Chicago hip hop project in one. And a lot of cats in Chicago fuck with the joint What Up Though for me and Fat Cat, because it ain't just me and Fat Cat, it's me, Slide A, and Fat Cat. So we did really well in Chicago, and I've been booked there quite a few times. And shout out to the homie Slide A, and to the whole Chicago hip hop scene, and my dog Fillmore Green, and everybody else out there.
What's the feeling amongst Detroit right now? Because you're heavily tapped into where you're from in Detroit. What's the feeling out there? Because I always look at the history of just everything that's going on in Detroit. We know the acid rap with Esham and Insane Cloud Posse, and of course Eminem. We know Eminem and the whole D12, and we know that Eminem had his beef with ICP back in the day. But then we have this whole new era of Detroit coming in here with these new guys. I mean, it's crazy. You have this new sound out right now in that area. So what is the overall feeling? Is there a unity now? What is the overall outlook of Detroit hip hop now? Because you have so many different styles.
Yeah. I would like to think that there is this unity. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, not that I'm like really, really tight with homie or nothing like that, but like 42 Doug, his DJ, Flex Band, is my guy. I've known him since he was a kid, literally, since he was a kid. And we were never really tight, you know what I'm saying, or anything of that nature. But that's the homie. I could reach out to him. I just talked to him not too long ago. And that's the whole different other side of Detroit hip hop than what I do and what Fat Cat and Guilty Simpson and Royce the 5'9" does. But even though it's different, I do feel like a lot of the young kids that like the more street heavy music, the shit that we hear more on the radio, and etc. I don't know how much they listen to the type of shit that me, Royce, um, etc. do, but I do know that they respect it. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
And I feel like that's where the unity comes in. Even if you a boom bat backpack motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? And let's say you don't check out a lot of the younger shit, you know what I'm saying, the newer shit, and you don't really resonate with the more quote unquote, I guess trap is the right word. I don't even know if that's the right word I'm looking for, but the more modern style. That's okay. You don't gotta check for it, but just don't disrespect. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, still, you know, there's certain cuisines and styles of cuisine that I might not like, but that doesn't mean that that cuisine, or you get what I'm saying, or that genre of food is trash. It just don't appeal to me too much. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? But that don't mean that there isn't 5-star chefs that still make that genre of food or that cuisine. And I always say this music shit and food and like musical art and culinary arts are analogous. Like, whatever you can say about one, you can damn near say about the other. And you know, some people might not like Mexican food. All right, cool. If you don't like Mexican food, that's fine. Your taste buds don't fucking float to it. But that doesn't mean Mexican food in general is bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I think when you can still respect and find what you do like in that lane that you're not too fond of, that's where the respect comes in, you know, and you want to see people do well for themselves. So if 42 Doug can do what he does and it resonates with the people that fuck with what he does, good for him. Who am I to say, you know what I'm saying, his shit is whack or whatever? That it's not whack. You know what I'm saying? 42 Doug got joints I fuck with. You know what I'm saying? And especially when you see like Eminem and Big Sean do a song with Babytron,
Oh,
and
Toby.
and yeah, it's like you see that embracing of different styles and different flavors. And I'm a pretty optimistic guy. So when you ask me that question, you're gonna get a pretty positive answer. Like, yo, I think right now in Detroit hip hop is super dope. It's super beautiful. Motherfuckers is embracing each other. They're respecting each other. The OGs, the young G's, the whatever. Now, is there always some bullshit? Maybe some motherfuckers that are beefing out with each other, or they jump on the internet and talk shit about each other. Unfortunately, yes, that happens, but I just don't really pay it no mind. You know what I'm saying?
No, I know you do. You're the type, but I've heard you say it before. You think it's corny if someone just calls you out, especially if there's no personal issues.
Yeah, I think rap beef without a real issue is weird to me. And by no means am I some tough guy or whatever, but if I am that angry at someone, that it's frustrating me, or it's bothering me, I'm probably just gonna swing on you before I write a song about you and call it a day.
It's too, you know what it is? It's
Like,
too
real
much
talk.
energy.
Yeah, like instead of making a piece of art about you, because that's what a song is, instead of making art dedicated to you, I would just rather dedicate my right fist to you and call it a fucking day. Move on with my life. And that's where sometimes I think like, I don't know, and look, this might sound hypocritical. Like I'm entertained by the Drake and Kendrick shit. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know if I would have handled it like either one of them. I would have just said, let's just scrap, bro. Let's
Mm.
call Dana White and let's just beat the fuck out of each other and keep each other's names out of our mouths, and life goes on. That's my style.
Yeah. And you like both artists. I remember we talked about that in our last interview. You like Drake and Kendrick. Yeah, there's things that with Drake that are very sketchy and things that I don't like with the ghostwrite and stuff, but you can appreciate him. I think he's listen, when he got booed at the Limp Bizkit concert the other day, that's when I was like, okay, this guy's getting way too much hate. It's too much now. You
He got
saw that,
booed.
right? Yeah, he got booed at the Limp Bizkit concert in Toronto.
Hold on, time to fuck out. Let's rewind. I did not see them. Number two, Drake at a Limp Bizkit concert is fucking weird to me. If I don't think that would have been the right move for Drake right now. No disrespect to Limp Bizkit, but I just don't see how that. And then he gets booed, and he probably would have gotten booed even if this Kendrick shit didn't exist.
Yeah.
Probably because the crowd there at a Limp Bizkit show in 2024, I would imagine, even regardless of this Kendrick shit, that they probably don't appreciate Drake,
No.
regardless of the beef. So maybe, you know what I'm saying? Now, let's say Taylor Swift was in Toronto and Drake walks out on that stage. I think he would get a lot of love, even with this Kendrick shit.
Mm.
Picking it, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I really
That's
don't.
interesting
But
because Taylor Swift's got records with Kendrick. She got the Bad Blood record with him with the remix.
yeah, but I think Drake is such a pop artist
Mm.
that I don't see. I think any major pop artist walking on stage at a Limp Bizkit 2024 concert is probably going
It's
to get
just
booed.
not, yeah, because that's not what the base stands for. That's not what Limp Bizkit stands for. We seen what went down at Woodstock.
Exactly, bro. So like Limp Bizkit could have brought out Taylor Swift and she probably would have got booed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's probably not the crowd to bring Drake in front of. But yeah, man, I do like Drake. I do like Kendrick. I appreciate both of them. Like cuisine. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I want Taco Bell. Sometimes I want a nice hearty steak with good vegetables and low calorie or whatever the fuck. It's just different. It's different cuisines for different times and different places. When you leave, when you're out on a date with your lady and it's your 5-year anniversary or some shit like that, you don't take her to McDonald's. But when it's 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, when it's 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, you're drunk, you just left the club, you're starving, probably got some munchies because you hit the blunt a couple of times. McDonald's is perfect. And that's all I'm saying. There's a time and place for Drake. There's a time and place for Kendrick. There's a time and place for Eminem. There's a time and place for Common. There's a time and place for Valid. It's just what type of cuisine you cooking up.
You're right about that. You're definitely right. What are your thoughts on Eminem's newest album, The Death of Slim Shady?
Hey man, my thoughts is this. My dog DJ had got a check off that because they sampled some of his older work when he was working with Shady when they redid when they did Houdini and they sampled Without Me. Um, my dog DJ Head he eating off that, so I love it. And and my dog Foul Mouth. Shout out to my boy Foul Mouth. Known him for years. I was very proud. I was very happy for him when he got a placement on the album. He made the beat that Bizarre's rapping over at the end of that track called Antichrist. So what more can I say? My DJ, my sensei got taken care of. My dog Foulmouth got taken care of. My dog Bizarre, who's been nothing but good to me, he getting his shine again. So what more can I say? Shout out to Eminem, shout out to Shady Records, shout out to the big homie Paul Rosenberg, and it's dope.
You had lunch with Bizarre
Yeah,
recently too. How was that?
I did have lunch with Bizarre about some months ago. Did I tell you that? How did you know that?
I looked into it. I always look into the people I interview.
Yeah, I did. I just don't remember that being public knowledge. Me and him got some Mediterranean food. Um, we kicked around some business ideas. We showed each other a lot of mutual respect. The dude told me that he sees how hard I work, and he was just saying, like you get it, and I want you around. You know what I'm saying? And that was super dope because I grew up with D12 posters on my wall. You know what I'm saying? So the homie Busy, I just saw him not too long ago at the listening party for his He Got a Gun 3 album with the homie Foulmouth. And anytime I see Busy, it's just good vibes, good love. And shout out to my dog Bizarre.
D12 with the song Girls, which is crazy because when you think, because you had the D12 poster, we just brought up Limp Bizkit. Eminem, he destroyed them on there. Oh,
He did. And he sure did. And that fucking disc record was sweet as fuck.
were you a Limp Bizkit fan?
I was. I had one of their albums on CD. It was what's the name? It was a weird ass name.
$3 bill,
Uh no, no. My
significant
boy
other.
had that. No, hot dog something, man.
Oh, I know
Hot
which one you're
dog
talking. What's
flavored
with the little aliens on there?
yeah, something like chocolate star hot dog flavored water or some shit like
Oh,
that.
chocolate
And
starfish and the hot dog flavored water. Yeah.
damn, I had that album. That album went hard. They had some bangers on it. I gotta go look that up again and just to like reignite those memories from eighth grade.
Just imagine how much bigger that would have been if Eminem and them didn't have that falling out. You would have had a lot of rap records, even more.
Man, you know what we're gonna do, man? Yeah, we would have because they were fucking around with Method Man. They were fucking around with
Redman,
DJ Premier,
Exhibit.
Exhibit. They were on tour, man, and that was the time. Here's what we're gonna do, Max. Let me get out the car. Maybe we're gonna get some more. Look here in a second. Let me grab these bags again, Max. My sincerest apologies
Oh, it's all
that I
good.
wasn't posted up in my apartment like I would like to be
You're working, man.
for
You
this
got to be
interview.
moving around.
But I wanted to get out the car. Let me see if we can get under some light here, and we can knock this out with a better look. That was a time, bro, where that was a time where like the early 2000s, like rock and roll, like heavy metal rock and like grunge rock and rap were like this like insanely popular combination. It was like Ice Cube had a song with Korn. Eminem did a remix of The Way I Am with
Marilyn
Marilyn
Manson.
Manson. And I genuinely think a lot of Eminem's success is stemmed from obviously from that era. That's when he like blew the fuck up and was the hottest thing since sliced bread. But I think a lot of his success was it tapped into that market. It tapped into the demographic that liked Marilyn Manson. They liked Korn. They liked Rage Against the Machine, etc. Even though Eminem himself was not like a rock artist, his music it was like hip hop that spoke to that fan base. And I think that's why this like rock rap mashup in the early 2000s was so popular, because I think like almost Eminem's success might have like birthed that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why Kid Rock was so popular. The rock and roll rapping dude, Korn,
Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit. You know what I'm saying? It was like all this like even Slipknot had a DJ. Like it was like this rock, rap, heavy metal, but we're gonna like spit bars like Jay-Z thing. And I think it was very, very popular in the early 2000s. So popular that Jay-Z and Linkin Park felt it was necessary to do an album, a mashup album together. So crazy time, dog. Crazy time in music. And when I think of early 2000s, I do think of the rock rap mashup. It's like a part of the fabric of that era. You know what I'm saying?
And Eminem and Limp Bizkit, they did have a song together. It just didn't get released. Turn Me Loose.
Eminem and Limp Bizkit did have a song together. I'm trying to see why my audio's acting jacked up. You can hear me fine,
I can
right?
hear you fine, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Eminem and Limp Bizkit had that song Turn Me Loose.
Yeah.
And that was let me see something here. I'm trying to remember the lyrics of that song. I remember Eminem said something like, "What up, girl? Shut up, girl."
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Squirrel.
Yeah, that's the one.
Hold on 1 second, bro. I'm gonna try to see. I can barely hear you, Max. I'm sorry, brother.
Oh, it's all good. How about now?
Why is it doing this? I wish there was a way to like put this on speakerphone. All right, I think I can hear you now. Perfect.
You can hear me now?
Bam.
All right, there we go.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no, it's all good. Yeah, but Turn Me Loose, great record. Unfortunately, didn't get released, but we know the beef that went down there. And hopefully, maybe we'll see a resurgence of rap. I don't know if I don't think it's ever going to get beat at that level, but it would be nice to see that again. But we're in different times now, man.
We're in different times, man. And I think some of that, not all of it, some of that music didn't age so well. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't mean like age so well based on what they were talking about or like anything like politically incorrect. I mean like age so well in the sense of like when you go back and revisit it, it doesn't sound that good. Low key. And that's not a bash at Limp Bizkit because like I said, they got some joints, you know, Korn, they got joints, you know, say what you say. You know, I know a lot of us, I really don't fuck with Kid Rock at all. I don't really care for his music or anything.
I agree.
But to say he didn't have a banger here or two that wasn't catchy or sweet, he got some joints. But I think overall, a lot of that shit, when you revisit it with fresh ears in 2024, sounds super. I don't want to say super, but a lot of it just comes off like corny, like angry white boy music. You know what I'm saying? Like what are you so mad about type shit. You know what I'm saying? So it just is what it is, bro.
It is. No, you're speaking the truth.
But it comes off like a bit corny, and it comes off a bit like, come on, dog. Like this shit is some of it is cheesy. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of it didn't age well. But you know, like I said, like that Limp Bizkit record with Method Man and Primo, that shit's sweet as fuck.
And together.
You know what I'm saying? So, hey, is what it is.
It is. But we got Valid here today. We're gonna keep getting into his story because I know we got into a lot of it last time. I revisited our last interview, so I'm trying to nitpick of kind of what we didn't talk about. But I remember there was a time where, because there's a lot of compliments I've heard you just in different interviews and just read online, to where you used to kill to have compliments on your music, but now you still are, of course, happy about it. But what was it to the point to where it kind of became, I don't want to call it nonchalant per se, but to the point where it's not as much as a big deal as it once was? So what was the cross
I will say this, man. When I get it's still a big deal. It's still a big deal because I remember what it was like just to get somebody to pay attention, and then not only to pay attention, but to like actually enjoy what they're hearing. It's very hard. So I definitely don't take it for granted. But now I'm confident at a point where it's like before somebody else needs to validate my music, I know it's dope. You know what I'm saying? And I think that is I think that attitude and that freedom, or I should say that attitude gives you freedom. Because when you pick up the pen and you write or whatever, you're not thinking like, man, what can I say to impress somebody? What can I write? What can I do with my voice? What flow and whatever can I put on this to make sure that when somebody hears it, they think it's dope. When you stop that, you become better because you have this chip on your shoulder. You know it's dope. I don't need nobody to tell me it's dope. Whatever my head is gonna think of, I think is gonna be dope. You get what I'm saying? And so now you're much more free to just go wherever you want to go with the music, whatever you want to experiment, whatever you want to try. And you accept that, like, well, if that person, you know, if so and so don't think it's cool, that's okay. I think it's dope. And this is my art. And I don't just think it's dope. I know it's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is fresh. It might not be their cup of tea. It goes back to what we were saying earlier, but this dope. You know what I'm saying? Like it gets to a point where it's like, yeah, I've listened to a whole lot of rap in my life, and I've done a whole lot of it in my life where I think I'm a pretty good fucking judge of what sounds interesting and intriguing and what grabs people's attention and don't. And that's the difference now. But when somebody says, yo, that shit's sweet, it still means everything to me, like it did before. But it's just now like I already know it's sweet before somebody tells me.
I mean, you've been getting some major support for years now, especially going with Premier playing your record, Static play. I think we talked about that last time. You've been getting the major support, so those are the ones you want. But the fans outside, that's how you get your fan base in there. And I do agree with you on that. You have to be solidified in yourself to know that you're dope before anyone else can judge.
What it is.
Because say if you're not solidified in yourself and some hater comes along and is like, oh, you're trash, bro, you're terrible. That's gonna bring you down. So you have to be solidified with thinking that you're dope and just knowing that you do, and you can't let the outside noise bring you down.
That's what it is. And even if you know, I can only think from a perspective when I was younger. When I would hear anything negative, I didn't want to get salty about it. It never really made me salty. Like, oh, you're hating. When I was younger, I would actually listen, like, oh, you don't think it's good? Why not? Tell me. You know what I'm saying? And I would soak that game up, especially if it was from somebody I respected, like a DJ Head, like a Stretch or whoever it may have been that was around me that may have said, you know what you should try to do is XYZ. Where you're still struggling is XYZ. I would soak it up. I wouldn't never take it as like, oh, you know, now I'm bent out of shape and my feelings are hurt or whatever. My ego is hurt. I don't want to do this no more. That never happened. I would just kind of tell myself, I'm the dopest. I'm the greatest of all time. Just I haven't gotten that great yet. That was always my mentality. Like my mentality was always like, yo, Michael Jordan did not make his like middle school basketball team because he wasn't good enough to at that time. You know what I'm saying? But he still blossomed to be the fucking GOAT. So it's I just always kind of took that mentality of like, and I still keep that with me too. Like I don't think I've hit my max potential. You know what I'm saying? If I do, in the second I feel like I'll never be able to rap better than what I'm doing, or I'll never be able to make music better than I've already made. Max, this is the last interview, bro. Thank you, bro. I'm gonna go do something else with my life. Like I don't feel there's no point of continuing to do this then. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah, I never let it get like under my skin when somebody would say some shit like that.
No, and you can't. You got to keep having that mentality. And I'm telling you, man, that Eminem feature's coming. I can see you two working. Because you know what it is, though? Because like what Eminem and I appreciate is that he respects the artists that come out of Detroit, no doubt about it. But he values talent. first. That's something that's crazy about as big as an artist as he is. Because you see, because as much as like when we see, and I'm gonna keep it real, when Drake has, because Drake has the opportunity to put anyone on, but some of the people he puts on, they're not my cuisine. I don't know whose cuisine they are, but it's definitely not the top echelon restaurant type. Where Eminem, he really looks for that top quality person.
Yeah, I think, and this is not my words, but these are what I've heard people. And bro, I'm Max. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. As much as about like a hip hop head I am, at my age, like I don't follow hip hop like as much as I used to. You know what I'm saying? I follow the music,
Mm.
but I don't really follow like the news and the trends
Oh,
and
it's
like,
too
oh,
much now.
yeah, it's just way too much. You know what I'm saying? I'm too old for that shit, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, eventually, you, no matter how big of a baseball fan you are growing up, and you collect every single card and you read every player's card, eventually you grow out of that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's only so much time in a day. So, with that being said, going back to what you said, I guess some people I've heard critique Drake. Again, these are not my words. That like if an artist is popping, he needs to do a collaboration with them to like stay relevant and stay young and stay in front of like the young kids like faces and eyeballs and shit like that. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's not my critique. But back to your original point, bro. Hey, if M want to do some shit, I'm here. Obviously, it would be something super ill. It would be something super dope. I mean, just doing the Tigers commercial with him in it that came out a couple months ago. You know, it was me, Stretch, J Mac, PL, and I'm not J Mac, G Mac Cash, PL, and Eminem popped up in it, and that was dope to do that for the city. You know, we all rock these old English D's here in Detroit heavy. We get it tatted on us, and to say that I officially did it for the logo for the Detroit Tigers, and I was in the same commercial as Eminem, and I'm rapping in it. You know, that was super dope. Like
That's
that
big.
was super ill. And so you know, and I've had a brief conversation or two with Paul Rosenberg in the past, and nothing serious. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I can call Paul and be, hey, Paul, what's up? Not by any means. You know what I'm saying? But he knows I am. They're aware of me. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how much of my music that camp has checked out, but if they did, just like anybody else, I hope they enjoy it. And that's all I can really say. If anything comes from it beyond that, cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm not hard to get a hold of.
And besides the commercial that you did, you do have a movie placement. Can you speak on this movie yet? Because everything I've read online, it's been about that. You can't speak on it yet.
Yeah, man.
Anything?
I will say this. It is produced, starring. The main character is one of the main characters from the hit TV show The Office.
Okay.
So they're the ones that are producing this movie and starring in it, and they're co-starring in it with another major comedian that was in a lot of big movies in the last few years. And that's all I can really say. I haven't gotten any word of a release date or anything like that. The only word that I got is a song that I made got placed in the movie, and it's not just like a small placement. Like it's at the end of the movie during the last scene. Supposedly, my song comes on, and then the whole song plays throughout the credits. So, and that's what it is. And the business was already done. Like I was already taken care of, and etc. So that was cool. Now, when it comes out, I don't know if it's going straight to Netflix or what the I don't get those details.
Let's hope the big screens. Netflix is cool. It's cool.
Netflix is cool. If we get on the big screen, your boy Valley, he gonna be flying to LA. You know what I'm saying? Chilling. I want to be at the movie premiere. But I don't know, man. And this is my first time dealing with Hollywood in that sense. So I don't know what this process is like. I don't know. What if the fucking movie gets shelved? Who knows? But I was told it's supposed to come out sometime this year. So we're We're 8 months into the year.
Yeah, we still got some months left here. We don't want to rush it now.
Yeah, whenever it comes out great, and that's what it is.
And it's flying by. It's like this year was a month. It's unbelievable.
Man, bro, I can't believe it, dude. I can't believe it. Today's
It's
the last day of
August.
July.
It's August. It's August.
It's August at midnight, man. We're 3/4 done with the year already, and kind of sucks. It's like, man, I want to slow time down sometimes, but you can't.
No, it just keeps going and going, and you just got to keep rolling with it. Make the most out. Try to get something productive done each day, and I think that's what we do as
Yeah,
creators and entertainers. Is that we just stay busy. Either you making music and me doing interviews and coming up with different ideas, just things I have on the way as well. But I remember there was a few years ago, Ghostface Killah was reposting you. Did anything materialize out of that?
yeah, some record sales.
Yeah, as far as like maybe a relationship or like
No,
maybe a record on the way.
I've never spoken to him directly. I know people on his camp, and I think they introduced him to the music. He whatever, but like nothing beyond that ever happened. I'm gonna enjoy a beer while I talk to you. But shout out to the homie Ghostface Killah. Shout out to Wu-Tang. What did materialize from that is kind of the Plum Brandy EP is slightly related to that, because when in 2019 I dropped the Mihailo album, Ghostface posted that shit, and he's got a worldwide fan base, so a lot of hip hop heads overseas in Eastern Europe, where my name is a popular common name, they were like, "Who in the fuck does Ghostface Killah know that's named Mihailo? Like, this dude has to be Serbian, Croatian, something like that." So when they started doing their research, they're like, "Holy shit! There's a kid in Detroit who's Serbian, who is born and raised in America in Detroit, who his DJ is fucking DJ Head, and he's got songs with Elzai and Fat Cat and whatever." So these like, hip hop heads out there in that region of the world started fucking with me, and a lot of Wu-Tang fans started fucking with me just off that post, and that's where it hit me. It was like, all right, I always wanted to do an Eastern European themed project. Maybe now is the time to do it. And it worked, and it was dope. So shout out to Ghostface. Shout out to all the Wu-Tang fans in the world that fuck with Big Valid. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you. Yeah.
Of course. I love that the relationship that you have with Ma Dukes, J Dilla's mother, the Dilla Day, and just the importance that he's brought to hip hop. And we all know the history there, but her introducing you to the DJ that she know in Serbia. Not only that, but I think what was really crazy was the painting, the custom painting that she had made.
Yeah.
And she gave it to you of her
Yeah,
son.
she sure did. So there's a funny story there. I say she gave it to me, and me and her joke around about this all the time. But that I went to a local hip hop show where she was at. They were raising money, and she has artwork from all over the world since Dilla passed. People send it to her. I remember I went to her house in Conant Gardens, East Side Detroit, and I walk in. It just looked like a shrine of Dilla. Paintings, photos from all over the world. Like, she ain't got no room for them. You know what I'm saying? So she raffled that piece off at this hip hop show that they were raising money for a good cause, and I forgot what for. It could have been lupus. I don't remember. And I won the raffle, right? So my number comes through, and she pulls me off to the side after she gives it to me. She goes, "I saw you bought a raffle ticket." And I literally turned over and said to whoever she was talking to, "I hope Valid wins." And I won. So in my book, she gave it to me, because I'm the person she wanted it to go to. So shout out my Dukes, and shout out the whole Yancey clique. Illa J, that's my guy. Uncle Herm, that's my guy. My Dukes. She did a lot for me. She built a relationship between me and J Rock from Stone's Throw, and I got to kick it with Madlib and have a couple, a cool conversation with Madlib, and if anything will ever materialize from that, that'll be dope. But that camp and that crew, that Madlib, J Rock, etc., they're aware, you know what I'm saying? And I got to kick it with them when they was here in Detroit and just talk to them and bullshit with them. Shout out to the homie Kareem Riggins. Shout out to Jay Barber, and Common and that whole clique. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, I got a cool picture of Common holding my album, reading the back of it, reading the credits and shit like that. So that one was important to me to chop it up with Com and just tell him how big of an inspiration he was to me. And again, you know, because Chicago is like my second home, there's a lot of mutual connects there. So shout out to the homie Roe and Slade and all my people in Chicago that fuck with Com and yeah.
It's crazy.
And shout out to Doug Inf. Doug Inf is a good friend of mine and a good friend of DJ Heads. And for those that don't know, Doug Inf did a lot of early production for Common and No ID's right hand man. And you know, they talked about him on the Kanye motherfucking documentary. So shout out to Doug Inf. That is somebody I can call and just say what's up and talk to him. And you know, anytime I drop some new shit, Doug Inf hit me up with some feedback. So shout out to my man's Doug.
That's big. Shout out to him. It's crazy that we're losing a lot of these guys so young. And I think you know where I'm going to go with this with Chino XL. Rest in peace. I did see the photo that you took with him. And just I wanted you to share your story of knowing Chino XL.
Chino XL. Rest in peace to the homie Chino XL. I grew up a fan of Chino XL. You know what I'm saying? And look, I'm not one of these fake fronting motherfuckers. I'm not gonna say I knew every fucking song Chino XL ever did. I was a fan. You know what I'm saying? And his most known records, I knew him. I knew he beefed out with Pac. You know, and there was songs from Chino XL's library that I fucked with. So then me and DJ Head, we go out to California in 2021, 22 or 21. I think it was the summer of 21. And we go out to California and low key, what we were doing was talking with a couple different labels. And I was, DJ Head was trying to see if there was anybody who may potentially want to fuck with us. And there was progress being made. You know what I'm saying? That trip, we met up with the label that got my song in the movie that's supposed to come out. And so it was a successful trip. But there was a lot of dope hip hop shit going on in LA that weekend. Specifically, there was a sweet ass Detroit hip hop show that Elzhi and Boldy James headlined. And I was out there randomly, same amount of time with my Chicago family, Fillmore Green and shit. So Fillmore had a show. He did the, what was the name of the festival? I can't remember. They do it in LA every year. It's a big festival. This year, Elzhi is rocking. Apollo Brown, D12 is headlining it. Fuck, man, forgive me, but I forgot the name of the annual festival in LA. Boldy James was headlining that night. Fillmore Green was rocking. Chino XL was on the bill. So me and DJ Head go to this hip hop festival. And we see Chino rock, super dope. We caught like a little bit of the last of it, like last few songs he did. And I was like, this motherfucker's a maniac. He gets off stage and DJ Head goes, come on, let's go holler at Chino. Now, I know Chino had a relationship with Proof. I know Chino had a relationship with Dilla and a lot of Detroit cats, Hex Murder and shit like that. I didn't really know that like Head knew Chino like that. So he goes, let's go say what's up to Chino. And we're walking up to him. And I go to say what up, and I can't remember exactly the words, but I almost try to like introduce him to DJ Head. And he was like, stop, bro. This man needs no introduction. Like, this is my dog. This is the legend DJ Head. So Chino had, and I'm not throwing shade at anybody in Detroit, but Chino XL.
You like his whips.
What up, though, man? You all right? You good? So Chino had this love for DJ Head that I've never seen anybody even in Detroit talk about DJ Head like that. Like he knew This motherfucker made Without Me, Purple Pills, Renegade, blah, 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 blah. All the shit that we praise Eminem's golden era for. A lot of those hits, bro, I'll Shit on You by D12 and some other joints. A lot of it was what came through DJ Head. And Chino just knew. And Chino had no problem, like, praising and giving DJ Head his flowers. And now I'm getting emotional a little bit thinking about it because me and DJ Head walked up to Chino. And I walk up to Chino as a fan. You get what I'm saying? And but nah, Chino made it sure, like, yo, I'm a fan like y'all. And this motherfucker that you just told me is your DJ, your producer, is a fucking legend. And from that point on, Chino talked to me like, because I was with Head and Head said, this is my guy that I'm fucking with right now. Is this motherfucker valid? And Chino was like, I've heard about you, blah, blah, blah. And exchanged phone numbers, bro, right there. Followed each other. I mean, I was already following him. He follows me on Instagram right there.
Wow.
And from that moment on, I could text him and I would send him new joints. He would repost my joints. You know what I'm saying? And we would have cool little conversations. You know, when he dropped the joint he did with Madlib and I hit him up on Instagram, like, woo, that shit's sweet. And I reposted it. I couldn't believe Chino XL like was sending me voice memos. I still got them. Yeah, man, I'm super proud of the record, man. Me and Madlib knocked it out, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, man, this is fucking crazy. This is Chino XL. And he would text me, you know what I'm saying? And then one time, there was like some fraudulent shit going on where like a different artist that was calling themselves Chino XL, not even a rapper, some like reggaeton, whole different genre, you know what I'm saying? Was calling themselves Chino XL, and it popped up on his Spotify. So I texted him right away, like, look, bro, I just got a notification there was some new Chino XL joint. This is not you, bro, and you're not on this song. And he goes, man, that dude's getting a cease and desist right now. Thank you for letting me know. And that's it. You know, I can't, you know, I'm not one of these cats to be on someone, oh, so-and-so just passed away. That was my dog, you know. But he was super cool to me. The one time I got to break bread with him in person, he shared a million stories. Ones that I was able to record, ones that he said turn the camera off, and he had some wild stories about Big Proof, and DJ Head and him were just laughing. It was cool, man. You know, those are the moments where I say, man, I've lived a pretty cool fucking life. Like I got to see DJ Head and Chino XL just chop it up about Proof and Dilla, and Chino made sure to let me know that he knows exactly who DJ Head was, and made sure he called him a legend. And then he embraced me. And it was thank you. You know, that's all I could say, dog. Big dog. You've been gone for 24, 48 hours, whatever it is. I wish I got to do a record with homie. It was on my bucket list, you know. You know, it is what it is. But shout out to Chino XL for real.
Rest in peace. It's crazy. I couldn't believe, especially at the age of 50, when I saw that, I was like, wow, we really have to, as hip hop. I mean, we do we have a real platform. We do put on for the real hip hop artists, but I feel as though the mainstream they just don't embrace them. Hip hop is the only genre that I know that kicks their legends to the side like that in the mainstream, and we need to do more. And I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about just as a collective of hip hop. We need to really celebrate these guys when they're alive.
I think something about rap and hip hop, bro. I think about that often. Like, why isn't KRS-One like the Rolling Stones? Why isn't Big Daddy Kane living like, you know, Aerosmith? There's a couple reasons. One that is beyond our control. Hip hop is still fairly young compared to those other genres. And as big as Big Daddy Kane was in the peak of his career, hip hop, although it started charting, was still an alternative thing. So Motley Crue, Aerosmith, Kiss, bro, Big Daddy Kane, Rakim in the 80s and early 90s, their numbers, even though they were going gold and shit like that, do not compare to what those rock bands were doing at this very same time. We're talking 80s, you know what I'm saying? And the culture and the genre was so young and still unorganized, where it's like, dog, this is still street music. Although it's charting, this is not corporate yet, you know? So I think that's a part of it. And that part we really can't control. That just is what it is. The other part of it, though, is the part that we can control, is this idea that hip hop and rap is only for young kids. It's music for the kids. I think and I hope and I believe that that's changing. When you see Nas with Hit Boy, when you see Jay-Z doing albums like 444, when you see Common and Pete Rock doing it, and I think the biggest example of that, though, is Nas and Hit Boy. There's this new lane, and I can't even say new, it's been out for a few years, but there's this new category of adult contemporary hip hop where I do think now the Eminems, the Jay-Z's, the Nas's are going to be like Aerosmith, the Beatles, Motley Crue, whoever, Diana Ross, Aretha Franklin, and etc. Because now we're getting to a point where hip hop is 50 years old now. And when Nas blew up, it was on Universal Music Group or Sony or whatever he was. And it's like, now these guys, they are going to be taken care of. But I hope that, to answer kind of like what you were saying, that we don't kick Nas to the corner. We don't kick Jay-Z to the corner. We don't kick Eminem and Royce to the corner. And we just understand that, okay, this is just like in rock music. There's some newer shit. This is more traditional shit. And that goes back to our original conversation. In Detroit, I would like to think it is like that the young kids do respect the OGs, and the OGs embrace the young kids. And because if you don't, that's when you're going to get kicked to the corner. Man, you an old head talking that shit. We on this now. You played out. You know what I'm saying? So I do think things are getting better in regards to that. And I still see my favorite rapper of all time, one of them, Slick Rick, still doing shit at a major level. Now, if he drops a new album, is it gonna go multi-platinum? I don't know. But he's still doing shit with like Gucci and like getting major sponsorships and doing cool shit. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Slick Rick.
I agree. Yeah, shout out to him. Great Adventures, Slick Rick, classic album. Even like the Chino XL one, the first album, he pushed the boundaries with his lyrics, like the Shoutout Conspiracy record. There's just so many records on that first album where
he was saying some wild shit.
Yeah, and he really pushed the boundaries. When you look at that, a lot of it, you kind of know that he was going to be underground, but he was so underground, he made a bigger name for himself with that because he pushed the limit.
Hey, that's like on some R.A. the Rugged Man shit.
Yeah.
That's and I think the only motherfucker to like really have like wild, controversial, hard pill to swallow raps that really blew up on a commercial level is the homie we were just talking about, Eminem.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Him too. Kim.
Like I would say Chino XL and Eminem, I would put them in the same subgenre of rap. Lyrical, crazy off the wall shit.
Yeah, in a lane of their own. It's crazy when you really look at it.
For real.
What do you got on the way with the new album now? Because I know you mentioned you were at DJ Head's place, putting some things earlier with the shows. But what are some things that you got on the way else with Peach Brandy?
So there's gonna be more visuals coming off the album. this Saturday, if anybody's listening who stays in Detroit or watching who stays in Detroit, this Saturday, August 3rd, at Woodbridge Pub, a giant free block party is my release party. No tickets, no club. You just have to show up with an ID that says you're 21 and up, and we're gonna let you in for free. It's outdoors, giant block party. Shigeto, world-renowned artist, Shigeto is spinning. He's got a DJ set. Motherfucking Guilty Simpson is rocking. He giving you a full-fledged set for free. Guilty Simpson. The homie Asaka the Renegade, super dope Detroit talent that's blowing up right now. The homegirl Idea, she's rocking. And yours truly, your man's Valid. I'm rocking with DJ Head. DJ J Mac and Eastside John are going to be holding us down. It's an all-day event, block party from 3 to 10 p.m. And look, Hennessy is sponsoring. So they're going to show up with some free swag, some free drinks. Modelo is sponsoring the event. They're going to show up with some free shit. Twisted Tea, Bacardi. It's because of these sponsors, we ain't charging y'all nothing at the door. Just come and rock, man. Just come and rock. It's going to be a beautiful day. Food, drinks, airbrushing is going to be happening. There's going to be vendors. It's a legit block party to celebrate this new album, and we going to kill it. And then the after party is also free. That goes from 10 to 2 a.m. inside Woodbridge Pub. And J-Mac going to be spinning the joints all night. Stretch Money going to rock a set. So it's truly one giant party from 3 p.m. to 2 a.m. We're just going to have a blast. Big Valid, I hit the stage at 8:30. I hit the outside stage at 8:30 with my dog DJ Head. So if you're coming to support me, you want to catch my set, you want to see me rock some of my classic joints, you want to see me rock some of these new joints, be there by 8:30, and your man's Valid. I promise you I'm going to kill that stage.
No doubt about it. Valid, is there anything else you'd love to let the audience know that we didn't cover here tonight?
Look, man, shout out to my dog, Mad Max. Shout out to iHeartRadio.
Appreciate you, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, bro, for giving me the platform. And yeah, go to valid313.com. Go order you the new peach color vinyl. We got a whole box set, a wooden box set. The vinyl, the t-shirt, the cassette tape, a glass flask with 2 drinking glasses with the album artwork on it. It's super, super dope. It's super ill. Go order that right now. We got peach colored cassette tapes. It's just peachy, baby. It's a peachy summer. And it's your man's Valid, Peach Brandy, out now. Shout out to Funk Night Records. Shout out to Valternativa Records. Shout out to Savs Records, who helped me put this together. Shout out to all the features, producers, and you know, I hope I make Detroit proud. I hope I make the hip hop nation and hip hop lovers across the world proud. It's your man's Big Valid, baby, and yeah, that's what it is.
Fire album. Valid, I appreciate you for coming on the show, man. Anytime. Until the next time, congratulations on everything you've accomplished, man. Keep going.
Mad Max, thank you for having me, brother. I appreciate you.
Of course, man. Anytime. We're locked in. You already know.
We'll do this one day again.
Yeah, you got it, man. Cheers. Enjoy the rest of your night, man.
My guy. Yep.
Peace out, man.
Peace.